The painting known as Las Meninas represents a frozen moment in time, a snapshot of an instant in the life of a Spanish court in the 17th century. A painting about painting, a reality and an illusion, the artistic pinnacle of its creator, the Spanish painting Diego Velázquez, and one of the most scrutinized and debated work of art in the history of mankind. But about all this painting is a collective portrait representing real individual figures whose identities and lives were recorded. So on this video, we will try to understand who they were and what this painting can tell us about the artistic career of Velázquez and life in the court of Madrid in the twilight of the Habsburg Spain. Antonio Palomino, an early 18th century biographer of Diego Velázquez, informed us that the painter finished La Meninas in 1656. Velázquez was 57 years old and has spent most of his life at the service of the King of Spain, Philip IV. The 1650s is a key decade to understand the political situation of Habsburg Spain as well as artistic evolution of Diego Velázquez. That was the last decade of his life, but also what art historians consider the culmination of his aesthetic and technical development. This is the period of creation of some of his best work, like large Meninas or La Gelanderas. Spinners, Velázquez was on top of his game. The same cannot be said about the Spanish Empire. Spain faced economic, political, and dynamic crises, the symptoms of a decaying empire. The decade started with an outburst of plague in Andalusia, in Seville, the birthplace of Velázquez and the port of connected Spain with the Americas. Half of the population died. The revolt started in 1640 and Catalonia was a major issue until 1652, and in the following year, the Spanish crown declared bankruptcy. On top of that, Spain was at war with France, England, and Portugal, who rejected the Iberian Union, established in 1581. Under Habsburg rule, the future of dynasty was also a source of preoccupation to Philip IV, who at this point was also 50. Since the death of his son, the Prince Balthazar Carlos in 1646, the king had no male heirs, something that contributed to a high level of uncertainty and anxiety relative to the continuation of Habsburg rule in Spain. The situation would last until 1657, with the birth of Philip Prospero, but even he would die at the early age. After the death of his beloved first wife, Queen Elizabeth of France, the broken-hearted Philip had to seek a new wife who would finally give him a Spain and a heir. The chosen one has his 14-year-old niece Mariana of Austria, who had previously been promised in marriage to Philip. Late son Balthazar. The new couple married in 1649. Philip had a new wife, and Spain had a new queen. The pressure of Mariana to get pregnant was enormous, and the Spanish court had high expectations. The future of the Spanish monarchy depended on her fertility as a way to ensure its survival. The birth of the lack of a male heir would have wide population implication on a global scale. Paradoxically, this period of political and financial decline coincided with the zenith of Spanish Baroque culture. This was a brilliant period of literature and the arts. El Siglo de Oro, the global century, was dominated by artists like Francisco de Zurbarán, Bartolomé Esteban Morello, the Greek-born Dominicos Theotokopoulos, better known as El Greco, and naturally Diego Velázquez.